More Than Metaphors is a virtual love space for those poetic and poetic-ish voices to examine the question, what happens when we find the courage to live our poetry out loud? A conversation led by me, Dr. Keisha Brown, an author, educator, entrepreneur, and poet. More Than Metaphors combines guest interviews and posts from my blog, which focuses on transformative learning, love, justice, and liberation. Each episode of this podcast will provide encouragement for leading more meaningful, spirited, and poetic lives. As we close out Black History Month and welcome Women's History Month, I am excited to announce my new podcast. I have been incubating this idea since summer 2019 with an anticipated launch of November 2019. By the time the holidays came in the U.S., I redirected my energy towards finishing out the rest of the year with a focus on my family and recommitting to new projects for 2020. Y'all remember 2020? Yeah, you don't even have to say it. For those of you who read my post, When Regret Teaches, Take Notes, you already know that the lesson of waiting until I have everything in order hit hard. Just as I tell my students and my clients, do not wait until you have everything perfect. Have a plan? Absolutely. Do your research? Without question. And there will be times when you have to step out and trust that even if you do not have everything figured out now, opportunities, resources, and people will greet you on your path. Some call that taking a risk, while others say you're stepping out on faith. Others call that stepping into the flow. So shine up those shoes, Dorothy, and get to moving down that yellow brick road. And that is what I'm doing right now, easing on down the road. And I'm looking forward to bringing you this podcast, More Than Metaphors. I want to thank my sister friend, author, poet, scholar, and full-time goddess, Dr. Yolanda Seeley Ruiz, for lighting a fire under me. She's been talking to me about all the things I can do to support the learning of others on a larger scale for quite some time now. The ideas sounded amazing and time-consuming. However, when you watch other people making the moves that you are quote-unquote too tired to make, a few things happen to you. 1, you become inspired. 2, you become afraid. Or 3, you become a hater. Since I had been hanging out in the afraid category for a minute, I had 2 more choices. Since Yoli, as she is known by those close to her, has spoken into my spirit more times than I can count, being a part of her haterati didn't appeal to me. So inspired and afraid is what we are working with now. I will be selecting a few posts from the blog to get us started. It would be great to hear from you on the ones that you really want to see brought into this podcast. Feel free to leave a comment or email me directly at dr.keisha@drkeishab.com with your suggestions. In the meantime, enjoy my intro music created by Tim Moore. Oh, thank you all so much for your support. Let's continue learning, thriving, and moving towards liberation together. Always remembering that poetry and our words, the power of our words, are so much more than metaphors. Talk to you soon.